Khed Abdul Muhammad was a prominent activist, speaker, and leader known for his fierce rhetoric and unrelenting stance on FBA empowerment. Born Harold Moore Jr. on January 12, 1948 in Houston, Texas, he was raised in a Christian household but would later convert to Islam. He attended Delbert University in New Orleans, where he became increasingly interested in the teachings of FBA empowerment and self-sufficiency. Khed joined the Nation of Islam in the 1970s, and under the guidance of Minister Louis Farrakhan, he rose to become one of the NOI's most prominent figures. Known for his powerful oratory skills, Khed Abdul Muhammad advocated fiercely for FBA liberation, condemning systematic oppression and white supremacy. His speeches drew both praises and criticism for their uncompromising stance on issues affecting foundational Black Americans. In the 90s, Khed gained national attention for his public speaking engagements, in which he addressed a variety of social and economic injustices affecting FBA communities. One of his central beliefs was the importance of economic independence and self-reliance for Black people. He encouraged foundational Black Americans to establish businesses and support each other's economic initiatives as a means of building stronger, self-sustaining communities. Due to the controversial nature of his speeches, Khed's public remarks sometimes strained his relationship with the Nation of Islam. After a speech at King College in 1993 that was widely criticized, he was removed from his position as NOI national spokesman. Undeterred, he continued his work independently, later joining the National Black Panther Party as national chairman. With the NBPP, he sought to address police brutality, racial profiling, and economic inequality. Khed Abdul Muhammad activism, though polarizing, was rooted in his commitment to challenge systems of oppression. He called for the unity among Black people and encouraged them to embrace a strong sense of cultural pride and community responsibility. His impact on the fight for FBA liberation continues to resonate in the ongoing discussion around systematic racism and economic justice in the U.S.
Bobby Hemmitt is a name that resonates with many people who are interested in the occult, metaphysics, and esoteric knowledge. He is a scholar, lecturer, and teacher who has dedicated his life to exploring the hidden mysteries of the universe and sharing his insights with others. Bobby, who is Bobby Hemmitt, and what is his story? Early life and education. Bobby Hemmitt was born in Macon, Georgia in 1955. He grew up in a religious family and attended a Baptist church. He was always curious about the spiritual world and started reading books on various topics such as astrology, numerology, mythology, and history at a young age. He also developed a keen interest in African culture and history, especially the ancient civilization of Egypt and Ethiopia. Hemmitt attended college in Atlanta, Georgia, where he studied psychology and sociology. He also joined several student organizations that focused on Black empowerment and consciousness. He was influenced by the teachings of Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, and other Black leaders. He also became familiar with the works of Dr. John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Joseph Ben Jochannan, Dr. Ivan van Sertima, and other Afrocentric scholars. After graduating from college, Hemmitt decided to pursue his passion for metaphysics and occultism. He started giving lectures and seminars on various topics such as ancient history, mythology, religion, astrology, alchemy, magic, and more. He traveled across the country and abroad, sharing his knowledge and wisdom with thousands of people. He also wrote several books and articles on these subjects. Emmett was known for his charismatic and captivating style of speaking. He was able to explain complex concepts in simple and understanding terms. He was also able to connect different fields of study and show how they were related to each other. He often used humor and sarcasm to make his points more memorable and entertaining. Emmett was not afraid to challenge the mainstream views and beliefs that he considered to be false or misleading. He exposed the hidden agendas and manipulations of the elite groups that controlled the world. He revealed the secrets of the ancient civilizations that were suppressed or distorted by the dominant powers. He advocated for the liberation and empowerment of the oppressed people, especially the black community. Emmett was also adept at interpreting his dreams and visions. He claimed that he received messages and guidance from various spiritual entities and forces. He said that he was able to access higher realms of consciousness and reality through meditation and astral projection. He also said that he had encountered aliens, angels, demons, gods, goddesses, ancestors, and other beings in his journey. Emmett was respected and admired by many people who followed his teachings and lectures. He was considered to be a master of metaphysics and occultism by many of his peers and students. He influenced and inspired many other teachers and lecturers who emerged in the field of esoteric knowledge. Emmett was married to a woman named Barbara Emmett. They had 2 children together, a son named Bobby Jr. and a daughter named Ebony. Emmett loved his family dearly and often mentioned them in his lectures. Emmett suffered a severe stroke in 2013 that affected his speech and mobility. He had to retire from public speaking and live at home with his wife, who took care of him. He no longer gave interviews or appeared on social media platforms. According to some sources online, Emmett passed away in 2020 due to complications from his stroke. However, this information has not been officially confirmed by his family or close friends. Some people believe that Emmett is still alive but prefers to stay out of the public eye. Bobby Emmett left behind a rich legacy of knowledge and wisdom that continues to enlighten and empower many people around the world. His lectures are widely available on YouTube, where they have millions of views and thousands of comments. Emmett's books are also still in print, where they can be purchased by interested readers. Emmett's influence can be seen in the works of many other esoteric teachers and lecturers who have followed his footsteps. Some of them include Dr. Phil Valentine, Brother Panic, Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Alim El-Bey, Dr. Jewel Poperum, and many more. Emmett's teachings have also inspired many artists and musicians who have incorporated his ideas and concepts into their creative expressions. Some of them include Erykah Badu, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Lupe Fiasco, and many more. Bobby Emmett was a visionary and pioneer who opened the minds and hearts of many people to the hidden mysteries of the universe. He was a metaphysical master who taught us how to tap into our inner potential and power. He was a legend who will never be forgotten.
Dr. Amos N. Wilson, born 1941, transition 1995, was an influential, foundational Black American psychologist, social theorist, and author whose works focused on the psychology, social, and economic conditions of foundational Black Americans. Born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Wilson grew up amid the challenges of segregation, which shaped his understanding of the racial and social economic struggles that FBA communities faced in America. He later attended Morehouse College and earned his PhD in psychology from Fordham University. Wilson became a prominent figure in African-centered psychology and a powerful voice in FBA empowerment. Dr. Wilson dedicated his career to analyzing and addressing the structural inequalities faced by foundational Black Americans. Through his writings, speeches, and lectures, he challenged mainstream psychology theories that ignored or misinterpret the FBA experience. His most notable work, Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative for the 21st century, provides a comprehensive approach to building self-sufficiency within FBA communities. In this book, Wilson advocates for economic empowerment, political organization, and the establishment of strong social institutions as pathways to uplift foundational Black Americans and reduce reliance on systems that historically marginalized them. Wilson also examined the impact of systematic racism on Black identity, self-esteem, and social behavior. He believed that many issues within the FBA communities were not inherent or cultural, but was consequence of historical oppression and deliberate economic disenfranchisement. Through his research, he showed how psychological oppression could be internalized, leading to cycles of poverty and disempowerment. His work, The Falsification of African Consciousness, explored the psychological impacts of colonialism, education, and media on Black self-image. Beyond his writings, Dr. Wilson was a dedicated teacher and community advocate. He regularly spoke at universities, conferences, and community centers, where he encouraged foundational Black Americans to pursue self-determination, emphasizing the importance of education, entrepreneurship, and unity. His research and insights continue to influence Black empowerment movements and Afrocentric scholarships, and his works remain foundational for those committed to understanding and addressing the challenges faced by Black communities. Dr. Amos Wilson's legacy endures as a powerful call for transformative change, inspiring generations to come.
Dr. Delbert Blair, born 1934, transitioned 2016, was a foundational Black American metaphysicist, scholar, historian, engineer, and spiritual teacher who became well known for his deep knowledge of African history, metaphysics, and alternative science. He was born and raised in Chicago, where he developed a passion for exploring the mysteries of human consciousness, ancient civilizations, and hidden history. Dr. Blair's unique teachings combine spirituality, science, and history, offering insights into the nature of reality, energy, and the potential of human consciousness. Dr. Blair founded the Meta Center in Chicago, an organization dedicated to exploring metaphysics, alternative healing, and cosmic knowledge. Through his lectures, workshops, and radio appearances, he covered topics such as ancient African civilizations, extraterrestrial life, holistic health, and the effects of electromagnetic energy on human beings. He encouraged his audience to look beyond conventional history and to recognize the advanced achievements of ancient African societies, believing that this knowledge could inspire a greater sense of pride and identity among foundational Black Americans. A key focus of Dr. Blair's teachings was the concept of energy and its effects on physical and mental well-being. He spoke extensively on the impacts of radiation, electromagnetic fields, and environmental toxins on health, particularly in urban areas where FBA communities are often exposed to these elements at higher rates. He encouraged the use of natural remedies, meditation, and holistic practices as methods for self-care and protection against these harmful energies. Dr. Delbert also advocated for ideas that FBA people have a rich, often hidden legacy of advanced knowledge in metaphysics and spiritual sciences. He believed that reclaiming this knowledge was essential for empowerment, self-awareness, and liberation from societal limitations. By merging ancient wisdom with modern scientific inquiry, he sought to bridge the gap between traditional African knowledge and contemporary metaphysical thought. Though his ideas were unconventional, Dr. Delbert Blair inspired a devoted following within metaphysical and Afrocentric communities. His teachings continue to resonate with those interested in exploring spirituality, alternative science, and African-centered metaphysics. Dr. Blair's legacy is that of a trailblazer who encouraged people to expand their thinking, reclaim their heritage, and awaken to their fullest potential.
Elijah McCoy, born 1844, transition 1929. Elijah McCoy was a prolific, foundational Black American inventor and engineer whose groundbreaking work in lubrication systems revolutionized industrial machinery. Born on May 2nd, 1844, in Colchester, Ontario, Canada, to parents who had escaped slavery in Kentucky via the Underground Railroad. McCoy family eventually settled in Ypsilanti, Michigan when he was a child. He grew up in the United States and contributed significantly to its industrial progress, leaving a legacy, not only advancing engineering, but also paved the way for future FBA inventors. McCoy showed an early aptitude for mechanics and problem solving. Recognizing his talents, his parents arranged for him to study mechanical engineering in Scotland, where he completed a formal apprenticeship. This education was remarkable for a Black man at a time when systematic racism often limited access to advanced training and opportunities. Upon returning to the United States, McCoy faced racial discrimination that prevented him from obtaining positions equivalent with his qualifications. Despite his education, he initially worked as a fireman and an oiler, for the Michigan Central Railroad. However, it was during this time that McCoy began to apply his engineering knowledge to solve real-world problems. Elijah McCoy is best known for his inventions of an automatic lubrication system for steam engines, patented in 1872. His device, the lubrication cup, allowed machines to be oiled while in operation, significantly improving efficiency and reducing wear on equipment. This invention had widespread applications in railroads, factories, and ships, becoming a cornerstone of industrial productivity during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. McCoy ultimately secured over 50 patents during his lifetime, with many focused on improving lubrication systems. His innovations were so effective that they became synonymous with quality, leading to the phrase, "the real McCoy," used to signify authenticity and excellence. This impression remains part of popular culture today. Elijah McCoy's inventions were pivotal during the Industrial Revolution in the United States. By improving the efficiency of machinery, his work helped accelerate industrial productivity, which in turn contributed in the growth of the economy. Railroads, manufacturing plants, and other industries relied heavily on McCoy's lubrication system to keep their operations running smoothly. McCoy's contributions also highlighted the intellectual and creative capabilities of foundational Black Americans during a period when racial stereotypes often denied their achievements. His success as an innovator challenged prevailing narratives and opened doors for other Black innovators to pursue careers in science, technology, and engineering. Despite his remarkable contributions, McCoy faced systematic racism throughout his life, including barriers to fully capitalizing on his inventions. Many of his patents were licensed or sold to companies that profited off his ideas while offering him little financial reward. Nonetheless, his perseverance and ingenuity left a lasting mark on American industry. Elijah McCoy's achievements have been recognized retrospectively with schools, awards, and even Canadian stamps commemorating his legacy. His story is a testament to the importance of reliance and the transformative impact of innovation. Elijah McCoy's work not only advanced industrial efficiency, but also contributed to the broader upliftment of foundational Black Americans by demonstrating that talent and creativity transcends racial barriers. As one of the first Black inventors to gain widespread recognition, he became a symbol of possibility and excellence for generations to come. McCoy's life and work remains an inspiration, showing how determination and ingenuity can overcome even the most entrenched obstacles.
Dr. Francis Crest Wilson, born 1935, Transition 2016, was a pioneering, foundational Black American psychiatrist, author, and outspoken social critic, best known for her work on the psychology of racism and white supremacy. Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, she came from a family dedicated to education and social justice. Wilson attended Antioch College and earned her medical degree from Howard University, where she later served as a faculty member. Her bold and often controversial theories on race and systematic oppression made her a defining figure in struggle for Black liberation, earning her respect as a strong, fearless, foundational Black American woman committed to empowering her community. Dr. Wilson's groundbreaking work, The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors, published in 1991, laid out later Crest theory of color confrontation. This theory argued that racism and white supremacy stem from an unconscious fear of genetic annihilation among white people due to the global prevalence of darker skin tones. Her theses contended that the actions and structures of white supremacy are rooted in deep-seated desire to maintain white genetic survival. She argued that understanding this underlying psychology was essential for FBAs to effectively combat systematic racism. Throughout her career, Dr. Wilson spoke fearlessly about issues affecting the FBA community, from police brutality and economic disenfranchisement to educational inequities and media stereotypes. She emphasized the importance of recognizing and addressing how these systems contribute to the ongoing oppression of FBA people. Dr. Wilson's work brought attention to the deeply rooted and often hidden psychology aspects of racism, challenging people to think critically about its causes and effects. She also encouraged foundational Black Americans to cultivate self-respect, unity, and resilience as tools for liberation. Her views sparked considerable debate, both within and outside academic circles, as she boldly addressed subjects that were often considered taboo. Despite facing criticism, Dr. Wilson remained steadfast, embodying the strength and resolve of a dedicated advocate for her people. She was unafraid to speak truth to power, consistently challenging conventional understandings of race and urging her community to seek knowledge and empowerment through awareness of these dynamics. Dr. Frances Crest Wilson was more than a scholar. She was an icon of strength, resilience, and intellectual courage. Her contributions to the understanding of white supremacy's psychological underpinnings have had a lasting impact on the discourse around race in America, inspiring generations to continue fighting for justice, equality, and dignity. Her legacy lives on as a beacon for those committed to dismantling racism and empowering the foundational Black American communities.